guys. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Storb Unlimited Bushcraft Podcast. Today we're joined by Matt from Adventurers Made. All right, Matt?
How's it going, Rob? You okay?
Good, mate, good. I was just saying it's been a long time actually, because I've obviously we haven't seen each other since the Bushcraft show, and both been really busy, and we've put this off a couple of times, haven't we? So it's nice to actually get you on. It's really good to have you on, mate. So yeah.
Thanks for having me on, Rob. It's nice to catch up again. It's been
Yeah,
a while
decent.
since the show. And so
Yeah.
both got busy lives with young kids, haven't we? So
Oh yes, mate. Oh yeah. How's little Caleb? All right.
yeah, he's not too bad, thanks, mate. Yeah. What about Indy?
Yeah.
She doing all right?
Yeah, she's not too bad. She's down, so that's good. Fingers crossed for now. But yeah, what have you been up to then, mate? Have you obviously you've not done a video in a while, but you've been out doing some bits. You've filmed another one that's coming up soon, or?
Yeah, so I haven't been out for about 4 or 5 weeks now, probably too long to be honest. But yeah, just my wife was struggling with the back for a while, and obviously having a young kid, I couldn't just go off camping.
Yeah.
That seems to be all right now. So I actually went back to the Lake District on Monday this week, so I filmed that.
Wicked.
I've just been starting the edit actually, so hopefully that'll be out early next week, I would have thought.
Yeah,
So,
wicked.
looking forward to getting it up.
Wicked. No, I'm absolutely a massive fan of your channel, and it's been a long time coming. We've been talking for about a year and a half or so, haven't we? Even sort of before the Bushcraft show, really, and meeting each other. I think we've been chatting on Instagram and YouTube and stuff for a while. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, I mean, I'm sure anyone that follows me will follow you, but for those of you that don't know, Matt's got a really cool wild camping and adventure outdoors channel where he does bushcraft, wild camping, hammock camping with his dog Poppy. So yeah, definitely go and check out his awesome stuff. So the views that you guys go on is just insane as well. A lot of the epic landscapes and into the lakes and stuff. It's just awesome. What's it like camping with a dog? It's just
Yeah, which to be honest, I've always wanted a dog that I could take camping with me. Not just a bit of company, but just I don't know, just thought it'd be cool to have a dog. And I've actually got 2 dogs, but one of them's I can't really take camping. She's a bit nervous. She's a nervous dog. And then I just took Poppy from a really young age, and she loves it. So
oh, wicked.
nice.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
In terms of like the landscapes and stuff, I just try my best to find spots which are going to have nice views, and just be able to make like nice memories of going there and exploring different places. Really.
Yeah, the footage that you capture is just insane as well. I mean, some of the I've got to commend you on your videography and cinematography sort of skills as well, because a lot of that is really well put together, really well edited and thought out, loads of decent shots. So
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot. It is quite hard work, and obviously I'm just learning every time I go out, just see what looks good or what I think looks good, and then just take as much footage as I can, and then just sort of like try to piece the story together of the trip, really.
Yeah.
And, I'll probably only use like maybe 30% of the footage I actually take.
It's always the way, though, isn't it?
I've got a lot to sift through when I get home to try and like sort of make the film work. But yeah,
nice.
It's good. I enjoy it though, so it's good fun.
Yeah, it's a good hobby as well. It's like a 2-part thing, isn't it? You go out and film the content, and then you come back and edit. I suppose it's like a 2-part journey, and it's something that you're always going to have to look back on and remember. So yeah, it's wicked. It's the same with the. Sorry, mate.
I'm saying it's nice to have that backlog. You said there to look back on, and obviously now I've got a son as well. It'd be cool for him to look back on and see what I've got to when
Yeah, awesome. I bet you're raring until he's old enough to take with you, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll have to change the logo.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Yeah, just pop a little silhouette of a lad in next to you. Yeah, that'd be sick. Decent. And then you would get out on the water quite a bit too, don't you? So you've been into your pack rafting and canoe trips and stuff. How did that sort of all come about? Were you into were you used to rowing beforehand, or is it something you picked up really, doing the
canoeing? I've done a little bit before when I was in the Scouts growing up.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like most things, as you grow up, you just sort of like like for me anyway, I just sort of like forgot about the camping side of things. When I was getting back into it, I thought I'd really like to get back into canoeing, and I actually went on a couple of training courses run by Paul Kirtley at Frontier Bushcraft. Went on a few of his courses, and then just get the skills I needed just to be on my own or even with other people, and just get back into it really.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Paul's incredible as well. It's must have been a privilege to sort of learn from him really, and see
Even
what
just
he
to pick his
does.
brains. Yeah, just to pick his brains outside, around camping that on the night time, just have a chat to him, and it was cool.
Was that like an overnight thing then that you did with him, or a couple of days or something?
It was like a 5-day camping canoe trip I did on.
Oh wow,
based on Inverness in the Lake District.
that's insane.
It was pretty cool actually. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he's an absolute legend in the bushcraft game too as well. He studied under Ray Mears and just absolute genius. So would have been pretty cool to have seen some hands-on skills of his over the days. I know he's done a couple of videos with Mike now, hasn't he, as well, which is quite cool. But
it's good because obviously he does the canoeing side of things with Ray Goodwin, and then he does like the camp side of things, which was a really good week, and just give me a lot of confidence to go and start doing my own canoe trips and that sort of
nice
thing.
One.
And with the packraft is just another way to get to those places where can't always get the canoe in, or it's just easier to carry a packraft in and then get to these more remote places than it would be if you're hiking or trying to get canoe somewhere.
Yeah, and you've done a couple of the islands as well, haven't you, on some of the lakes with the pack raft?
I've done I've done a few now. Actually, I've done a few in Scotland as well. I've actually got a few penciled in for this year in Scotland, which I'm looking forward to. So hopefully that'll be pretty cool. I've got plenty planned. Just need to get on with it now.
There's lots to look forward to for the summer though.
Yeah.
The weather's starting to turn a bit better now, so you've got no excuses. Got to get out.
But that's it. Well, say when I was in the lakes on Monday, it was nice to like be outside the tent. I think it got dark at 6:30. It was like incredible just to be able to spend a bit more time in camp and just chill out a little bit rather than coming up at 4 o'clock when it's pitch.
Oh mate, I find that all the time, especially sort of autumn and winter. And you're getting there, you want to try and get there for sort of 2 hours before 2 hours before dark anyway, just to set up, get your firewood, get your fire on and what have you. But it's just too dark, isn't it? So it's actually a luxury to have some light at 6 o'clock for once.
even in the morning, it was dark till like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So you got a long time just to be sat in your tent.
Yeah.
But even when I'm filming as well, you got to think obviously filming wise, you got to constrain by those shorter days, so you got to get somewhere quicker and to spend the time filming. But it's nice the days are getting longer now for sure.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the bits that you got coming up. So when you're scouting out all these sort of these places, do you sort of like local knowledge or Google Earth, or just do recce's beforehand or anything like that? Because some of the beaches that you've done, like I say beaches, but like the shorelines of big lakes and stuff, look so remote and out of the way and epic, and they've got to be somewhere. But like, do you just hunt around and do it online, or?
So basically what all I do is I just like forever looking at Google Earth or Google Maps or whatever, looking at places which look like there could be good potential camping spots. So like the beaches as you mentioned there, and some of the remote locks. So I'll pick a spot. I think, okay, that looks like a nice spot. I want to go and check that out. But then that's the logistics, how I actually get there. So where do I park the car? And then I can work a route which I can hike if it's down like a forestry track, or I have to pick my own route to look what looks like the best route on the map. And then I'll plot that out on the OS Maps app that I've got. And then I just go for it really.
Yeah, nice one. Do you ever come into any sort of like, I don't know, like trouble or not get lost, but like, do you ever find that you like, this didn't quite go to plan, or it's actually a lot longer of a hike than you thought? Like I do that. I do it the same way, to be honest, but again on like a much smaller scale and way more local. So a lot of mine is just woodland, and I try and get a decent bit of woodland that's well away from paths, well away from anything. And then, like you say, you zoom out, you look for local car parks. Where can you leave the car overnight that's not going to get seen and things like that? But I suppose with you being that remote, when you're up in like Galloway National Park or the Lake District or something, it's then finding how long a hike that is. Do you find that it's a real struggle to do it when you get there or not?
So I mean, I do obviously use that OS Maps app on your phone, which gives you, obviously tells you how long the route is and how long it'll average it should take you to walk. But that doesn't really take into account like the ground conditions. So I've found myself getting to places in Scotland where you come out of a tree line and it's like a massive bog. So then you've got to skirt around the bog to get like to keep going, or
Yeah,
it does take time. And or for example, I was going to another beach spot and I got there, so I had to drop off the forestry track and head through the forest onto this obviously this down this beach. But the forest had been cut maybe 10 years ago, so it was all like regrowth and like all like quite difficult terrain to walk through.
Yeah.
And when I dropped into that, all the small trees were like just above head height, so there was no visibility. You couldn't really see where you were going in terms of direction. So I just used the GPS on my phone to pick my way through, which took quite a while. So there is like different factors. But yeah, I normally try to give myself plenty of time to get anywhere, which obviously come back to the long hours. Now the days are getting longer, I will go more further afield, where during the winter I wouldn't probably drive all the way to Galloway, just for the reason it gets dark so early.
Yeah, fair play. Do you tend to sort of like think to yourself, maximum 2-hour drive, 4-hour drive, whatever it is? Is there any stuff that you would go really far afield? But again, you're sort of looking at 2 nights then, I suppose, to make it worth the drive, aren't you?
Yeah. So Galloway for me is about a 4-hour drive, and that's probably if I didn't like it so much up there, I probably wouldn't go as often one night, as if you know what I mean. But I do really enjoy it. It's like an epic place. Don't ever see hardly anyone up there, and then you get some really nice camping spots. So it's worth it. 4 hours drive is probably enough for me for one nighter to make it.
Oh, it's so worth it. I mean, the scenery that you've done over at Galloway and just other places in Scotland as well, it's just absolutely epic. A lot of the pine forests and, like you say, the remote lochs that have got all those lovely shorelines. Future me will try and edit some photos in to show the viewers of some of the shots that you guys have got, you and Poppy, over the years. I mean, it's just awesome, man. It's just really, really cool. I guess like solitude is probably what you like. It's just an escape, isn't it? In terms of getting some headspace. Yeah,
that's it. It's getting out there and just getting off the beaten track. Just find somewhere you can just set your tent up or whatever, and just relax and get a campfire going. And just enjoy being out there, really, and do a bit of fishing and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's just nice just to switch off a bit. And but equally, it's nice I like filming it as well, and then obviously putting that film together. That's part of the fun as well, really.
Yeah. Decent.
There is like some special places to go to, and obviously, I've only touched on a small percentage of it. And a lot of people say, England and Scotland haven't got many places left but it's just, I don't believe that at all, me personally. There's plenty of places out there you can get off the beaten track, and if you look hard enough,
and I suppose it's the effort in getting to the places that are off the beaten track, because it's all very well going, well, there's a car park and there's a little bit of woodland and I'll be prepared to walk 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like a mile, 2 miles, that's it. That's not off the beaten track. So I suppose it's like, if you're prepared to make the effort to search these places out and go, even though that's a bit more of a traverse over some tough terrain or whatever, it's getting away from everybody, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you obviously put the effort in and obviously get the reward at the end of it, if you're just gonna, I mean, for me, part of it as well is trying to seek these places out and then you find somewhere on the map, think that looks good. Go and see what's there. If you might get there, it might be terrible, but 8 times out of 10, it's pretty good. But for me, just like pulling the car up somewhere, then camping near it, it's not really. It's not really mine. I'm not really interested in that sort of thing. I like to go on like a proper trip, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. I need to get out to places like Dartmoor, I think, and down that way, like, because I'm South England, the only sort of places that are a lot more remote than what I normally do is down sort of Dartmoor into Devon and Cornwall and places like that. So I might try and get a few of those in, or maybe some cliff some coastal cliff camps or something, because you're on the northeast side, aren't you? You're sort of Teesside.
Yeah, northeast coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So I suppose,
pretty fortunate because I can get to Scotland in, like you say, 4 hours, and then Lake District in 3.
yeah,
So
that's
it's
decent.
pretty accessible.
Yeah, nice.
Uh,
Do you do
now the
much on the coast? Do you do much on the coast, like on your coast, like I don't know, I suppose Whitby or Hartlepool?
so where near where I live, it's quite industrial on the coast. I mean, like
Right.
local. I mean, but I could go. I am hoping to go like further north, actually, like Northumberland coastline, which is probably about 2 hours away from me. And that looks like it's got some pretty incredible spots on the beach to camp.
Yeah, just south of Berwick is lovely. Just south of Berwick
Yeah,
is
I've
absolutely
heard that.
lovely
Yeah,
because you've got like it's like a really really deep black uh, cliff line there,
Oh, is it?
and it's just yeah, it's really nice. It looks it's very similar to sort of some of the Scandinavian places because you've got like such a dark sort of cobble pebble, coastline, and then you've got this rugged cliff line. We went up to because my auntie used to live in Berwick upon Tweed, and
Oh, yeah.
she had a guest house there for a few years, and we used to go up there. But again, like the walk down to the coastline is just full of just really dark cliffs and stuff like that, epic scenery. And obviously you've got the North Sea, which is just battering you. So yeah, I'm sure it'd be quite nice to camp there if it's like quite a still day and you've got a decent sunset. But
Yeah, no, I would like to do a bit more coastal stuff. I'd like to do a proper coastal like foraging course as well at some point, just to try and like get my skills up and that sort of thing as well, just to wild edibles on the coast. So yeah, I'd like to do like some trips like that for sure in the future. There's a few beaches up in Scotland actually that I've been looking at for a while, but they're about probably a 6 or 7 hour drive away, so you'd have to go for at least 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
To be worthwhile.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a big canoe trip planned in northwest Scotland and in May, so that'd be pretty cool. We'll do some beach camping there.
Nice one. Decent.
So looking forward to that actually. The same group of lads we did that Great Glen canoe trip last year, so it should be a good laugh.
Oh, wicked. Yeah. Is there going to be as many, do you think?
I think there's about 10 of us coming. I think a few people might have dropped out, but I think roughly about 10 of us.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it for we're going to try and raise money for cancer this time around.
Oh, that's wicked.
Because hopefully, Rick T Outdoors, he's picked the charity this year for this one, and he's picked the cancer research charity to hopefully try and raise some money for. So hopefully we'll do a pretty good job as well.
I'll put a link in the description below for the charity canoe trip video from Matt's channel down below, because like I say, it was a really really cool trip. Like you say, you had Rick, you had Mike from TA Outdoors, you had Simon and Bloke in the Woods. There's loads of really good heads there, weren't there, to go out with. Yeah, and it was an epic feat, really. So tell us, like, how did that come about? Who started that all off?
So it was Ant from Ant United. He messaged me like maybe a year before, asking if I'd be interested in doing it with him. And me and Ant had already been chatting a bit like us on Instagram for a while. And so I said, yeah, because I wanted to do it myself anyway, and it was something I had my eye on. And I thought, yeah, it'd be cool to do that. And it just sort of went from there. A few other people got invited, and then we did the planning. And a lot of us never even met each other before we even turned up to do it. And it was a good laugh.
Wicked. Yeah, because it was what, from sort of Lochlocky all the way through up to.
So we started in like just outside Fort William. We started.
That's it, Fort William to sort of just south of Inverness, the top of Loch Ness, was it?
We finished at the end. We finished in Loch Ness. We finished in Inverness. So
right.
We travelled out of Loch Ness all the way through the canal system into Inverness.
Wicked. Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it's so cool. Did you struggle to find places to camp along the way, or was it not too bad?
No, it was good. To be honest, because there was a few of us, I think there was 10 of us on that trip, we actually thought we might struggle to find a camping spot each night to accommodate all of us. But there were some fantastic places. We managed to find some really good beach spots, and then some loch side spots, and managed to all get in pretty well actually.
Yeah, decent. It's very relaxing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's well, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was hard work at times, but especially on Loch Ness when the waves were getting quite big at times, but yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the weather turned a couple of times, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but it was good. It was hard work, but like I say, we enjoyed it, like every second of it, really. I think everyone felt the same on the trip, so yeah, it was good.
Decent. We've got something in common too, actually, haven't we? We both used to skateboard, so I just wanted to ask you a little bit about that, just to say, because I found that out because you did a video on bow drill, and I did a similar one, and it was both. I think it was around the time, maybe one of the first lockdowns or something, and we were both in our gardens, weren't we? And we were chatting about the bow drill method, and we were like, "Oh, did you use a skateboard, a skateboard wheel?" Yeah, I did. It was just quite cool as a bearing block, wasn't it? So that's how I found out that like you skated, because I thought I recognised you through skateboarding, but it was somebody else I was thinking of. And yeah, it was just cool to find out that you used to skate. And I've since found out as well that Craig East Anglian used to skate as well, or still skates. And a couple of other people as well in the bushcraft sort of world like skateboard. It's weird, like it's just a small world. Maybe there's a bit of a crossover between, like, I don't know, skaters and people wanting to get out into nature. I don't know, but it was cool to learn that you used to do that as a kid. When did you sort of first start getting into that?
So I'd probably say when I was in secondary school, so when I was about 13 maybe. Did that for quite a while, but yeah, I used to love it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I probably wouldn't do so well on it now, like.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How long's it been?
You are?
How long has it been since you last skated?
Oh God, how old am I now? 30 odd, probably about 10 years maybe.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah,
Mine's probably, well, seriously, probably about 10 years, but I've been out a few times since. I still do a few tricks and stuff, but yeah, I do miss it.
Yeah, I do. I've got an old, I've got a brand new Enjoy board in my loft, which is I bought. I think I'll get back into it, but never have.
Yeah, fair play. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll teach Caleb a few things and get back on it. Maybe that's around the corner. I was joking around the other day because it's cool to find out that a few bushcraft heads used to skate and stuff. And I said if I ever met up with you or Craig at East Anglian, we'll have to have a game of skate or something. That'd be quite cool. But have you got any trips planned then? Coming up, anything around the corner? Obviously, you filmed that one on Monday, but have you got anything coming up? You say you've got quite a lot in the pipeline for summer, but
yeah. So I've got. I think what I'm going to try and do now is just try and get back to doing like more regular uploads. So, probably Monday I'll probably go out. Maybe I might just do a local one in the local woods. So I'm thinking of maybe just to do like a tarp camp, tarp shelter sort of thing.
nice one.
And then I'll probably go back to the lakes or even up to Scotland the week after that, maybe. So, to be honest, it depends on the way the oil price, petrol prices are going at the minute, because it's like,
oh yeah,
ridiculous. So,
yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I don't want to be driving too far afield, mate. I'm feeling the burn. Just I work from home mostly at the minute, so I don't even have to go into an office. But we're opening our offices back up, and just the travel's insane. Like it's not even that far, but like I'm finding that just with going into the office say once a week. I do work from home mostly, but like going in once a week and then doing the nursery runs, it's killing the fuel already, let alone going out camping. So like it's I hear you on the fuel front, mate. It's not good.
That's it. That's the videos people don't realize. Obviously, you go out and then it's to put a video together. It costs quite a bit of money. Obviously, fuel to drive somewhere, then drive back, and then time spent editing. Obviously, you don't get paid for it. Make a little bit of money off of YouTube, but adding nothing really in the grand scheme of things. But, yeah, it's hopefully it doesn't get too more expensive, because obviously the trip to Scotland might be off the cards.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You have grown quite significantly though. Like your channel's blown up, I would say, over the last 2 years, and it's just all power to you really, because like I say, it shows in the quality of your videos, and you deserve every bit of it. You're an absolute gent, mate. So I've always loved your sort of stuff, and I mean this with total honesty, not blowing smoke up your ass, but you know, the way you put yourself together and the way you put your videos together, it really shows to your viewers that actually you put the effort in, you care, you want to produce good quality content, not only for, you know, your viewers, but also for yourself as well to look back on. And that's such an important part of what we do, really. It's memories, isn't it? And building those memories. So yeah, it's really cool, mate.
Cheers, Rob. We appreciate that. So there's a lot of hard work, and I'm glad it's paying off, really. You know, obviously glad people are enjoying the content, and channel's doing really well for it. So yeah, hopefully it'll keep going that way.
Decent. No, yeah, fair play and all power to you, mate. And like I say, the versatility as well. You talk about like tarp shelters and stuff. You're not just you know, you do your hammock camping, you do your hot tent camping, you do your stringing up of tarps and what have you, but also, you know, you're building little things like raised beds and then a tarp over the top. You're building all sorts of stuff and branching out with the locations that you pick, as well, as I've just said. So like there's a lot of versatility, even though it's wild camping videos, it's getting back to that consistency of uploads, but it's a different thing each time. So do you find yourself ever like not running out of ideas, because it shouldn't be about, you know, what to pump out next? It should be about enjoying it and doing it for you. But like, do you ever find that you're like, oh, I've really got an itch or a good idea of what to do, and then like, you know, you find yourself repetitive? Because I found myself in such a rut with like, oh, just do a hammock, or just do this, just do that. And I want to start building more. But like I say, where we live, all of the woodland around here is all like forestry commission and very popular walks and stuff. So, and I don't have any woodland permissions or friends with woodland really, until I started doing stuff with Dustin and that down in Somerset. I don't really have any woodland permissions, so it's really difficult to actually build stuff. But like, do you find yourself stuck for ideas, or does it come quite naturally to you?
No, I mean, I know what you mean there, because I do try to keep the content like different and keep like you know, changing things up a little bit, so it keeps it a bit more fresh than just say using the stove every time, or just putting the hammock up all the time. But equally, I do try to do things that what I like to do as well. But 9 times out of 10, I do like enjoy like obviously trying to come up with different ideas, different shelter ideas to do, like to make a video. But sometimes, it can become think, oh, what should I do next, or where should I go next? But yeah, generally, I obviously try to do things that I like to do rather than trying to. Because in my head, when I pack my bag, I've got an idea of what I'm going to film and what how I want the video to look. But 9 times out of 10, when I get there and start filming, it never ends up how I planned it to be.
Mine's exactly the same, mate. And I tend to sort of somewhat overthink it. I think I need to let the reins go a little bit in terms of like having this fixed idea of what I want it to look like, because you find yourself, I'm sure you're the same, where you've got an idea on paper and you're itching to go and do it, and you're setting out your video and you're going to do this, that, and that, and it comes across and you think it needs to be what you want to do, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It needs to come across genuine, it needs to come across for you, and it needs to come across as something that you enjoy doing. So I totally hear you on like trying to make it fresh for everyone, but equally just doing what you want to do. Because like there'll be times where I've seen you do little setups, like where, I don't know, it's like a plough point tarp and there's a stump in front of you and you're in a coniferous woodland, so you're not having a ground fire, you're just having the bush box on the stump in front of you. Do you know what I mean? And that's good enough. That's a decent enough camp setup for you. And you make those camps look way cooler than just a bush box on this. Like I don't know what you're doing, but it's working, because like you make those setups look incredible. And again, I think a lot of that is down to like location and your camera angles and stuff, because it's
probably just a camera angle.
It's the epic scenery there, mate. Honestly, like you pick some really, really cool places.
Now I picked a drone up last year as well, so now I've got a drone that just makes it like the shots, just some of the shots you get that incredible, like just beauty.
Yeah, I've noticed as soon as channels sort of pick up a drone and they start getting some aerial shots, like the channel changes so much, doesn't it? Like the ability that gives you.
It just adds to that like production value of the video, just makes it like just the whole thing like the next level, really. The only thing is now I've got to carry a drone around me, so I'm forever trying to get rid of camping gear so I can carry more filming gear.
That's it.
Ridiculous. Like so I've carried like I've got like I use a DSLR camera, and then I've got a GoPro as well, and then I've got obviously a big tripod. Then I've got like in my bag I'll have my drone, and I'll have a bag for batteries and chargers. And I've got Poppy's gear, Poppy's dog food, Poppy's bed, Poppy's coat. And then obviously we've got my camping gear to think about as well. So just, yeah, I don't know. I might get, I'm thinking about getting a new GoPro, one of the newest ones, and see what that's like to film with. But I just don't think you get the same shots with it. But I might give it a go, just for especially the long hikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, fair play. Does Poppy like have quite a lot of gear with her then? Because obviously you've got the harness now, so she can carry some of it, but a lot of, like she's got the bed, she's got the food, she's got the harness and stuff.
yeah. So yeah, so Poppy, she normally carries like her food and her dog coat and a little backpack she wears. And then I'll carry a bed, maybe some spare food and treats for her.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got a lead for her, a water dish. So especially if I'm going somewhere where there's no water, then obviously you've got to think of water for me and her. So it's there's a lot to think about really when I'm packing for her. But yeah, it's
just thought of something as well, to be fair. Like if you're going out camping with a dog, it's a completely different sort of take on it really, because I was just thinking you could be like hiking through to get to a place, and people, like if you do spot people on the path or you've turned up early and stuff and people are wondering what you're doing with a big bag or whatever, I'm sure they probably won't take a blind bit of notice with Poppy, because it just looks like you're on a dog walk, doesn't it? So I suppose it's a completely different take really with a dog. It's almost kind of more stealthy to be with a dog.
yeah, it's a good reason to be
I
out.
mean, it is, yeah.
Lone man hanging about in the bushes with a backpack looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it?
That's it, yeah. But with a dog, it looks perfectly innocent.
Dog,
yeah. No, but I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but she's good as well, because she senses things a lot.
Yes.
A lot before I hear anything. And there's been a few times where she's sat up and been staring at stuff, and I'm thinking, "Oh, what's there?" And obviously I can't see, but she knows something's there. And obviously just like deer or sheep or whatever. But yeah, it's good to have that sort of element in camp where she knows someone's there. Actually, she did actually spot a guy walking. He was actually he was with his dogs and he was poaching. And I didn't spot him, but he was stood watching me, and I didn't know he was there until I noticed Poppy was staring at him.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was a bit creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of good that she was there, though, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't spot him. I didn't even hear him coming up with his dog or anything. But yeah.
Weird. Is she all right with wildlife and stuff like that?
Yeah, she is. I mean, she's a pretty decent dog, to be honest, apart from when she's pinching my food. But she's pretty good. She has run after a deer once, but she comes back, and she runs quite far, then she'll come back to go shout her. So she's not too bad, thankfully.
She's a staff and lab cross, isn't she?
Staff whippet.
So
she's
right,
pretty quick.
Yeah, she is slender, but you can see the staff in her sort of face, can't you?
Yeah, she's got like a staffy head, and like a whippet body.
Yeah, gorgeous dog.
Beauty little dog. Yeah, she's fantastic. So when I'm filming, obviously when I've cooked some food or whatever, and I'm filming, changing the camera around and that sort of thing, I've got to be careful, because a few times I put my food on the floor, I changed the camera.
She is cheeky.
There she is, stuck into my teeth.
Yeah, no, I remember at the Bushcraft show when we were having lunch together, just having a bit of scran and sitting down, and she was sort of like, "Food, please, food."
Yeah, where's mine?
She's just like, we've got a Poppy, my mum and dad's dog. She's a Staffy cross. We think it's probably lab, but she's like a tan red dog, but she's exactly the same sort of temperament, She's a lot more hectic though, I think, than your Poppy, to be fair. She's a lot less behaved than yours. But then it's just getting them out early, isn't it? Like you say, you've been taking Poppy out since she was a puppy, so
yeah, 6 months old. I took her out on the first trip.
Awesome.
But there's times when I'll be hiking, I look around and think, oh bloody hell, where's she gone? And she's that close to me. She's like literally on my ankles, like walking right next to me. She's a good dog.
Yeah. So you don't realise she's under you.
She is, honestly. Sometimes I've kicked her in the head, because when I'm walking, my feet obviously go up. I've kicked her. I'm like, why are you standing so close to me?
Yeah, I do find it funny when on occasion, because you're like I say, your videos are quite well thought out. They're very sort of like set up minimal talking until you've actually set up, and then you sort of introduce the video a little bit and then tell the story, and it's almost like a narrative. It's really cool. But I do find it quite funny. There's the odd occasion where Poppy would sort of like get in your gear or get in your way, or you'll be stringing something up, you'll be like doing prusik knots on the ridge line, and she'll
she's trying to
come sweep your feet under or something, or try and get in your hammock before you've even set it up, or that was it. Like, or you put the under blanket and she'll try and get in there or something, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, I do find that quite funny.
Yeah, she's quite funny like that, like trying to get in the tent before it's even up. But just speaking wise in the videos, I'm not a massive fan of speaking to the camera, to be honest. Like, so that's why I just try to keep it like to minimum. I've even thought about making the videos just like no speaking at all, just going back to like just silent videos. Just let the company do. But I don't know if that viewers would like that or not. I'm not sure, but I don't know if people like sort of like the interaction, like a part in the video.
I think you're loyal fan. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've built up quite a decent following of consistent, like, slow grow vlog style. Do you know what I mean? And I think they like to follow the journey with you and be part of it. But you look at other channels that do just ASMR style, no talking, and they sort of capture like you find it quite often with like French creators and like German and Scandinavian creators as well. So it's sort of universal. So if it's not an English speaking video, they tend to just not say much, and I think it appeals to a wider audience because it's just sort of the sound of nature and the sound of bushcraft, and there's no real script. But to be honest, I think a lot of your viewers, certainly the guys that have been there, the OG guys that have been with you from the start, do you know what I mean? They like to, they want to follow your journey, mate. I'm certainly one of those as well. Like, it's been a long bloody time since we've missed you. we need more content.
No, it's coming. Like, now I've got a few things sorted at home. It's coming. I've got trips planned. I just need to get my ass in the gear and start getting back out, I think, really. But hopefully, it did be good to get out on Monday, actually, to be honest, get that one done, and then sort of get back in the swing of things for filming.
I get stir crazy if I don't go out. I get the itch. I haven't camped in a while, and I kind of put myself. I didn't put myself off, but like there was one camp I did recently, and I was meant to go with a mate of mine to cook up this massive bit of beef rib that I got from the butcher, and it was huge, and I was going to sort of do it on a slow roast, and then just shred it up, and I got really sort of wound up because you won't mind me saying this, but I planned to go out with him, and he was like, let me down at the last minute, literally just let me down like 2 hours before sunlight or something. And I was like, oh, come on, look, we're going. So I ended up going on my own, and which would have been fine had I have known at about 1 o'clock, do you know what I mean? But he let me down at like 3 or something, and it was like getting dark around 4:30. So I thought, oh God, I was already packed and ready to go. So I went, and it was only a woodland around the corner. It wasn't too bad, but sort of got there, and because it was such a rush to get firewood prepped, you know what I mean, like get the shelter set up, get food on the go, and it wasn't what I planned. I planned this whole camp around the prize bit of bloody meat that I was going to cook up, and it was going to be a real cool thing with 2 people, and I was in my own head, and I was already sort of pissed off, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be really, really terrible. And everything was just wet through, raining, like wood, and because I just didn't have enough time, like I just couldn't get a fire going. So I was like, I was just really annoyed. And like, I think in that moment, it then does become a bit of a survival situation, because you get annoyed at yourself for trying to get a fire on the go, and then you're running out of light, and you're like, oh God, I could, if I had an hour's more light and an hour's more patience, I could go out and get enough, or break down some birch bark enough to get something going, or you know what I mean. But I was just in my own head that day. Like, I was just so pissed off that I nearly put myself off wild camping. I nearly went, well, I'm never going again. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I had a really uncomfortable night. I couldn't get a fire going. I think I drank like 2 beers and went straight to bed with no food, like no food, no warmth, no light, a 3-season bag, and I was freezing all night because do you know what I mean? I just put myself down, and I was like, the next one's going to be like, I don't know, I was just in my own head. So I was just like, I really put myself off. So I nearly didn't go back to it, and I'm so pleased I did, because like I find that if I'm not, now that I'm doing this kind of thing as a hobby, I find that if I don't do it, I get really, really like agitated, and I need to just have that breakaway, especially with work. Like, you know, work's quite fast paced and stressful. You need that away time, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been that before. I've been out, hiked out to a trip, got there, started doing whatever, and there's times I thought, you know what, I'm not stop feeling it, so I just packed up and gone home.
Have you?
Yeah, a few times I've done that, and like I was just like, say, there's my local woodland. Well, say local, it's about 40-minute drive away. My wife drops me off not there normally, and picks me up next day. She's like dropped me off, and I've obviously hiked in, started setting up camp, and you thought, you know what, I'm just really not feeling that. I just didn't want to film, didn't want to be there, and then I've obviously rang my wife, say, "Do you mind coming back and picking us up?" And like an hour later, she'll come and pick us up, and sometimes that happens, and just, I don't know, you just got to. It's pointless being there if you I don't want to just be there for the sake of, I don't want to just make a video for YouTube for the sake of making a video. I'd rather just
That's it. I didn't film anything, and I think that was exactly the thoughts that were going through my mind at that time. Is just, I don't really want to be here. I think the reason I didn't turn around, because I text Jade and she was like, you know, why don't you just come home? I was like, it's got to that stage where it's that dark and I'm that far away from the path, and I've now had a couple of beers, that I think I could drive, but it's literally getting me back from my camp, packing up in the dark. Do you know what I mean? Putting everything back in, and it's raining as well, hard. And I was just like packing everything away, cold, wet, and tired, and already pissed off. And then hiking back to the car. Do you know what I mean? To come home, I'd risk falling over, getting lost, or like not getting lost, but like, I don't know, it taking a lot longer because I've gone down a slightly different route, or what? Do you know what I mean? I was just like, I think at that point in time, I was just like, I've got to wait this out. It's going to be a shit night, but I'll wait it out and carry on tomorrow or whatever, and write it off as a bit of a loss. But I totally get you on wanting to, you know, sometimes the mood's not right. Sometimes you need to just turn back. So, you know.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not, if it's your mind's not in it, obviously not in it, is it? But maybe see some of them ones where I've gone like quite far away, like Galloway, whatever. I wouldn't go home there. I'd just obviously just see it out. But when I'm like 40 minutes away, I'd just come home. But
mate, but if you're in Galloway National Park, you're not going home. You're not going home. Yeah, it's too pretty.
Normally, exactly. When I'm there, it's sort of the epic trips where you think, oh, this is mint this, but and they're the ones I really prefer going on, to be honest.
And you do a lot of solo camps, and I know we've said, you know, it's probably a bit different with Poppy and stuff, but I personally am starting to really like it. And again, it might just be because I'm getting a bit older, but I'm really starting to like my own company and my own headpiece a lot more than I used to. And I'm finding that, you know, not that I love camping with friends, don't get me wrong, but I find that if it's just you and nature, it kind of gives you what you were after, with no, you know, everything's at face value. So there's no bullshit, there's no waffle, there's no, you know, there's no sort of agenda or plan. There's just sort of like, it's me and nature to get that relaxation, and then a view is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you'll have an idea of where you want to go and what you want to cook up, or what you want to do. But I always find that if it's just you and nature and it's complete solitude, it's almost like a open script. Do you know what I mean? Like the night can go wherever you want it to go, and as long as you've got that fire cracking in the background, you just you're in the zone, aren't you?
Exactly. You just do your own thing and go at your own pace, and that's obviously what I do a lot of trips on my own. I do like just go on my own and just, you know, especially when you're hiking somewhere, you don't have to worry about if someone's can keep up you or they want to go faster or
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just like, because you're just there on your own, you just do what you want, and it's pretty cool. But I do enjoy camping with people as well. Like, obviously, I've done a few group camps and collabs and stuff, and I enjoy that as well. But can't beat the solo camps.
Are you doing any shows or festivals this year?
To be honest, I'm not sure yet. Because obviously I went to the Bushcraft show last year. We obviously both went to the Bushcraft show last year. And obviously, you know, the setup wasn't great in terms of, obviously I took Caleb with me and my wife, and it was a bit of a nightmare getting around with the pram, and obviously I'm a young kid there, to be honest. So I know the venue's changed again this year, it's somewhere different, and it looks like it might be a bit better, but I'm not sure. I haven't made mine up yet, to be honest.
Yeah, no, fair play.
But I don't know.
No, I'm going to another one, which I can't really talk about until I'm allowed to talk about it, which is going to be really exciting. But I'm going to another festival, and it clashes with the Bushcraft show, so I can't do the Bushcraft show this year because it clashes with the other one that we're doing. But there's going to be a group of us doing something quite special at this festival, which is going to be quite cool. So I'm really looking forward to that in the summer. But yeah, it's a shame because they've moved the date, haven't they? It was I think it was August last time, and now it's July.
Yeah, it used to be in August, then they moved it last year, then the COVID, I think, then obviously now they moved it to July. But I think I wouldn't mind doing the Great Outdoors Festival this year. I was going to go do it last year, but Danny Reed's festival, so I might do that this year instead. Yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I've never been to that. It does look quite good. It's a bit more like just focused on the disciplines of bushcraft and outdoor crafts and woodland craft and things like that, isn't it? And less about bands and music and and that kind of thing. It does seem very honed in on the disciplines of outdoor craft. The same with the wilderness one as well.
Yeah, the wilderness gathering, I'd like to go that one time, but the only thing is you can't take dogs with you, and
can you not?
Dogs.
No, that's rubbish.
So that's why I haven't got that one yet.
That's my closest one. That's Wiltshire, and I'm Hampshire, so it's not too far at all. I work in Wiltshire quite a bit, and a lot of friends are down that way. So it's literally the next county over. So it's literally like an hour or so's drive from me.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So that's literally on my door.
I've done the Bushcraft show for the last 2-3 years, so it's be nice to do something a bit different. I don't know, but the good thing about the Bushcraft show is you go and you meet up with people. Obviously, you wouldn't normally get a chance to, like, obviously me and you met up there, and other people obviously go. So a lot of people go there, don't they? It's nice to like chat to people, and it's good. Like,
it's a cool community. It is a cool community, and it is it's a small sort of intimate festival in it, where it's not too hectic. It's not too which in a way it's kind of great for kids, but I suppose because you guys had the setup in the family sort of bit outside, it's very different to the woodland camping and stuff, because we strung up a hammock because it was just me and my mate, so totally different setup. Do you know what I mean? Me and him in the woods, and then you and Tracy in your bit. So it's completely different.
It was just a nightmare to get the pram. Obviously, how muddy it was just to get the pram through on a night time. There's no lights or anything. It was just obviously, I know it was the problems with being let down quite a lot with a few people and stuff for them, but it sort of just not put me off, but it put me off taking my young son because he's only going to be 3 this year, so so he's going to be 2 this year, not 3, but so we'll probably be in the same boat. So I don't know, I might look at the plans online and see what how different it is this year. And
they keep changing venues as well. It's kind of like I would rather them just stick to one, but I suppose they've got to work out what's best for them, don't they? No, it should be good. Should be good, mate. Like I say, it's just it's cool just having that sort of summer festival vibe, I suppose, and something to look forward to that's a bit out of the norm of wild camping. Like I do like a good festival, and it reminds me of when I was a lot younger and I was going to festivals anyway for the sake of seeing the bands, seeing the music, getting drunk, that kind of thing. So it does bring back those sort of cool memories. So
amazing. So is Mike doing the Bushcraft show? Do you not know?
I don't know, mate. Don't know. I think he probably will be. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he'll be everywhere, as he normally is. Because you spent quite a bit of time with him and Graham, didn't you? Set up there, which was quite handy because obviously his daughter's similar age to Caleb, so it was quite good.
So obviously become good friends with Mike and Emmy, and obviously got a daughter the same age as Caleb. She's 8 weeks older than Caleb, so every time we get a chance to meet up, we do that. And obviously Bushcraft show is another, because they live obviously down south and we live up north, so it's a good meeting point in the middle.
Decent. Well, Indy's getting to a similar age now, so she's 18 months at the end of this month, so she's a year and a half now. And it would be cool, like if we ever do meet up at a festival or whatever, then the kids can just have a little play and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah, cool. But
it's decent having people similar age group really as well, with similar age kids.
No, definitely.
Because a lot of the guys in the bushcraft world are a bit older, and Well, it's weird. It's one of those where, you know, you've got people that are in their 50s and 60s, and then you've got people that are, you know, as young as like their mid-20s and stuff. And it's a really, really sort of inclusive community. I know that obviously they try and cater to kids as well for, like, you know, the bushcraft courses, or like people going into the scouts or cadets or something. But it's a really cool community, I feel, that is just a hobby that you can do until you die. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of those where with skateboarding or anything else like we used to do, you know what I mean, there's sort of like a finite time on it where you get a bit too old and past it, or tired, or joints can't do it. But yeah, exactly my point. Yeah, but
yeah, but the bushcraft as well, or wild camping, there's like so many different avenues like you can go down it. Like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like a minefield, isn't it? Really. So it's you always learn something, or you can always try something different. Yeah, it's pretty cool, sort of like a hobby.
So just a couple more questions, and I'll let you go, mate. I'll let you have an evening. But what's your sort of favourite adventure been so far? I know that's going to be quite difficult to pin down, but what's your favourite adventure been that just personal to you, like over the years?
That's good. That is a good question. I'd probably say, probably the first time I went out on my own. Like, it probably wasn't the best in terms of like views and stuff, but like, because when I first getting into like wild camping and bushcraft, like I was always trying to rely on a friend. Like, I was waiting for people to come with me, and I was always getting let down last minute, and it never ended up I kept putting it off, and then one day he said, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my own. I'm just going to go. And then I just went. I think did the trip in the Lake District. And when I did that first trip, like I really felt like, you know, like I was like just like buzzing with myself. Just thought like, that's it now. After my first one, and it just sort of went from there. So like, just to get that first one done was probably one of the most I remember. Probably the trip I remember the most for like that sort of reason. But
yeah,
just I don't know. Yeah, I just felt a bit of a self of like accomplishment, you know, to go and do it on my
oh
own.
yeah, massively so. Doing your very first solo is something special, in it. Do you know what I mean? It like you say, self accomplishment. There was a video I saw though that was really quite cool. One of your really early ones, was it with your brother or with your friend or something? And you went to, again, the lakes. It was like one of your it might have been your very first upload, and it was like you were right on like you built like a little reflector wall, and you were right on the
that was my brother.
Yeah, I thought it was with your brother. Yeah. And I thought that's just super cool. Like the two of you just looking out at that landscape. That's awesome.
We don't often get a chance to get out as much like as we like to, like these days, because obviously he works shifts and I work, and then obviously he's got a family, I've got a family, so it's difficult to pin down like a trip together. So we did that one, because growing up we all used to like build dens together and all that good stuff. And we did that. I did that one over Christmas with him and his son.
Yeah, that's right.
The one planned with him actually, and we're actually going to go and do one in Scotland again in the Easter holidays. So me, my brother, and my nephew again. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, wicked. I'd love to do that with my brother. My brother's 3-4 years younger than me, so it's a really cool sort of age gap where it would be quite nice to do that sort of stuff together. And I think especially as we're getting older and we've now got our own families or paths, or you know, he's with his fiance and I'm with my family, and you know, it's really difficult to get back together. And it's the same with my dad as well. There's something I want to do with my dad, you know, almost like a wild camp together on like a cliff, a cliff top looking out over the sea would be quite cool, and just share a bottle of wine and a campfire, like just before he gets too old to do it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's really cool just to see that one with your brother, mate. I just thought I'd mention it because again, it's one of those first uploads I think that I saw of yours and was just hooked ever since.
Well, I think I did have about I think quite a few uploads before that, but I took them all down because they were just terrible. In my opinion, I didn't really like them, so I took them down, and then obviously I left. That was the first one I'd like obviously left up, and then went from there.
That you were quite proud of, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
But even
I suppose you like.
Sorry,
mate. Go on.
I was going to say even that was just filmed with an old camera and
you
know that flashlight, but we still managed to make a decent film out of it.
Yeah, it looks cool. It did look cool. That was the first one that I watched and got hooked like on your content. Yeah, defo for sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I thought it was your brother. I couldn't remember, but
yeah.
I suppose you like different things for different reasons. Though, like I suppose the canoe trip was quite special because of the feat of doing it. You know.
Yeah. And just being part of that like group of lads as well, just was like a good crack, and yeah, it was good. But yeah, so I mean, each trip probably has its own like special sort of thing. I mean, that one I did on Monday, for example, like I've just come back from. Like I went to a place I've never been to before in the lakes, but like it was the scenery is epic.
Yeah. I was going to say the aerial shot you posted on your stories and on Instagram just looks insane. So I'm sure that's going to be a wicked video when that comes out.
Kind of made me feel like it was like in like Jurassic Park or something. Like I was going like past massive waterfalls, and you know, it was pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to putting that edit together. Really
nice one. It's good, I suppose. When it was in lockdown, there was a lot more people out at beauty spots as well. So it's kind of good that everyone that's not an outdoorsy person is kind of back in again, because it means that we can, you know, soak up a bit more of nature how it was meant to be. But yeah, listen, it's been really good to chat to you, mate. I'll let you have an evening. It's been awesome. So yeah,
nice one. Thanks for having me on.
That's all right, no worries at all. But yeah, like I say, guys, link will be in the description for Matt's channel. Go and check him out. He's an absolute legend. Yeah, it's been really good to chat to you today, mate. Really good having you on, and I'm hoping that I can get to see you soon, and maybe like I say, maybe we'll hook up at the end of summer or something and do something together. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks, mate.
Yo. Entering the planet, we were born in 1990. Censoring the damage through the years quite precisely. Peppering the cabbage every day with new rhyme schemes. Venturing the stranded and tired.